everyone, and welcome to yet another CAPSS legislative update. I'm Ann Baldwin, joined today by Randy Collins, a senior staff associate for government relations at CAPSS, and also Charles Rothenberger with the firm of Rome, Smith, and Lutz, and the lobbyist for the CAPSS organization. A lot of things going on at the Capitol. We are in the midst of the session and really felt it was important to update your members on what's going on. So let's start with a hot button issue, teacher pension. Where are we at?
Well, the state is really shaking out the sofa cushions to try to find any money that it can to fill a nearly $2 billion hole in the budget for the upcoming fiscal year. So as you mentioned, one of the proposals that the governor floated was, in his initial proposal, transferring a third of the cost of the teacher retirement system to local districts. And their estimate is that that would reduce the deficit by about $400 million. The problem with that, severalfold. One, local municipalities and school districts cannot afford an additional $400 million hit, particularly when their ECS and other funding is likely going to be cut.
And rising special education costs. I mean, the list is just this long.
Absolutely. And really, the whole rationale behind this is based upon a fallacy. If you talk to people, the idea is to give districts some skin in the game when they're negotiating teacher salaries. And the truth is, local districts have limited control over what they're paying teachers. They already have skin in the game because they're paying the salaries. And they simply can't set the rates that they would like because of collective bargaining rules. So it really isn't going to have any downward pressure on teacher salaries because the districts have limited control. And on the flip side, they don't have any control over the pension investment. So to give them, again, this unfunded mandate over a pension system over which they have absolutely no control is both unfair and a lot of people think illegal, that it would violate the terms of the compact.
Okay.
So should this go through, there's a fair chance that there may be some legal pushback against it.
I don't think that it will go through a $400 million, but the governor seems unbending on this, and the speaker's now talking about a phase-in. So there could be a phase-in of some sort that goes through, which is equally problematic, because as you know, with everything, once it starts, it just
never ends.
Add to it every year. So
right.
It's best to cut. This is where you really should light up the switchboards at the Capitol and talk to your legislators.
Okay, so give folks a call, do your homework, look up the bills, look up where we're at. Of course, you're going to keep your members updated. Let's, we got a few more minutes to talk about House Bill 7255.
7255 would establish a group to study a so-called special education cost cooperative. And it's really an effort to control the predictability of special education funding. It does really nothing to control the overall cost, but as everyone out there knows, special education costs are wildly unpredictable from year to year. So this would create a state-level pool and provide opportunities for different districts to contribute to it based upon their actuarial history with special education costs. So at least from year to year, you wouldn't be getting a surprise bill in the hundreds of thousands or perhaps millions of dollars.
Okay, 7207.
7207 is a student data privacy, an act to delay the implementation until July of 2018, and this looks quite favorable in terms of being delayed. I would say a really good chance of it being delayed.
Yes, this comes out of legislation that was passed last year. There was supposed to be a task force to really design the implementation. The task force was never convened, so what we got was really an unmanageable set of requirements that districts simply couldn't comply with realistically. So this will push back the implementation of those requirements and also reestablish the task force so that we can have a rational policy moving forward.
You know, and you both bring up a really good point, is that, you know, these lawmakers, these decision makers, you know, oftentimes need the input, and you would hope they get it more often from people doing the business of educating our children in public schools. So if you see something that you don't like and you don't think is going to bode well for future of education and for, you know, the superintendents and assistant superintendents out there, make that phone call. All they ask, it's very simple. They ask your name and they write down your comments. It takes maybe 5 minutes, but it goes a long way in really people listening to you and what final decision is made towards the end of the session, right?
It really does have an impact because so few people do it.
Right.
And particularly superintendents really are thought leaders in their communities.
Absolutely.
So people pay particular attention to their opinion.
Okay, so we're in the midst of this legislative session. We go till June 5th, and we'll keep folks updated on these bills and others as things develop. And always, you know, the phone line is always open if you want to reach out to Randy Collins directly. If you have any specific concerns or questions, you're always available for that as well. So we want to thank you for tuning in to this latest edition of the CAPSS Legislative Update on behalf of myself, Ann Baldwin, and also Randy Collins and Charles Rothenberger. Thank you for watching.